has been hit.
All right, tell us when it... All right then. Welcome everybody to another smashing episode of This is Jesse. Today we learn a little bit about Jesse's relationship with dentistry. So let's talk about your first dentist visit that you can remember. Now, you know what? What am I even doing? Let's talk about your first lost tooth.
I don't remember.
You don't remember when you lost your first tooth?
No.
Huh. Were you in your
supposed to?
20s?
No.
Oh, okay. So a little earlier?
You're really bizarre sometimes.
I'm still waiting. Which tooth was your first loss?
No idea.
Wow.
I'm guessing a bottom tooth based on, general teeth flossery.
And do you still have any of your teeth that you've lost?
No.
Did you grind them up and make them into bread?
No.
Oh. Well, what did you do with them?
I didn't do anything. Tooth Fairy gave me money for them and took them away.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that explains that anyway.
Okay. Yeah, we're ready for some better things than talking about teeth.
I will say, though, that you are wearing a shirt that has little pockets that would be perfect for teeth.
They are pockets. They're...
Tooth pockets.
Okay.
Anyway, just in case people wanted to know how it should be done appropriately, I have a special pillow, a special embroidered heart pillow that was made for my first tooth that has a little tooth pocket in it with a button, and that is where my first lost tooth resides.
Pretty sure mine resides in the woods somewhere. It was probably thrown out.
You think it's still around?
I mean, don't teeth kind of stick around?
Do you think maybe...
Skeletons still have teeth.
Just maybe a fox came by and thought, ooh, this tooth is even better than one of my own, and then took your tooth?
May have, but I mean, eventually the fox is going to die and the tooth will still be there.
Except the tooth imbued him with special powers, and so the
special
fox
Jesse powers
is still around.
We have had a discussion, by the way, about how we have to eventually have foxes because...
Oh, speaking of which, it's a fox day.
You sure are on Top Chat. We need to make sure you remember.
I did it to live chat, and then I popped out the window, and I think when I popped out the window, it changed it back to Top Chat.
Go away.
Replace Minnie with whom?
No one. That's why it needed to go away. Thank you, Jonathan.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we have a poll. Kind of a big one.
Yes.
And we need to figure out what to do with that poll. Oh.
Oh, man.
You know what the best part of you making cookies is?
That you eat them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best part.
You're welcome. We don't have these on the same page. Because we want option 1 and option 2 on the same page. The red is not what we want.
Oh. There we go. We're not going to get them on the same page.
Oh, you can if you use a page break.
As opposed to a bunch of return carriages?
Yeah. Well, you know that... Oh, I don't know how your page break works on your computer. On mine, I know how to do it, but you have a weird keyboard. There we go.
I mean, that's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, but you can at least see the two different entries.
How about this?
There
we go.
Because what you're seeing is that essentially what changes are the, obviously the reduplicated forms. And so regular and negated are really the same, across the board. So the first two columns are going to be the same. It's when do we get the reduplication, which therefore that changes how those look at the end.
Oh no.
Jonathan, I think out of 18 cupcakes, I got like 3.
I ate most of them. They're fantastic. I love your cookies. The cupcakes were better if I had to rank them.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. The
They're more.
cupcakes are better. I'm not shy about admitting that. And oh, Casey Bellis. Hey. No, thank you. You were very kind. All right, so we do have results, and it was very, very close.
Do we have a winner or is it a tie?
It's a winner
Okay.
by 3 votes.
Okay.
By 3 votes, and like, I just want to send hugs out to the people who were very invested. I've been there where my option didn't win. I understand.
Oh boy. Now I'm really thinking about it. So you can kind of see these, right? But to give you a brief rundown, option 1 is going to see the dead consonant show up in 3 out of 4 forms. Option 2 is going to see the dead consonant show up in 2 out of 4 forms. And then the reduplication is going to be quite simple. But it will have the tone switching, the dissimilation, which we don't have in the first one. So honestly, I'm still torn. Both are very interesting. But now we're going to find out which is the one. Dark Horse. I think, you know what, Dark Horse? I think I already added your word. I just didn't do it on camera. Remind me in chat what your word is and I will go check.
Actually, I will check because it's probably easier for me.
Probably, okay.
But yes, okay, so with a margin of 3 votes, the winner is option 1.
Oh. Look at that. Yeah. How do you feel?
I mean, I was happy either way. Once we had fixed some of the issues that I had originally had with them, which I was vocal about last week, and that was an issue I had with the system we discarded anyway. And then when we brought back the consonants in more places, I was much happier with option 1. And then honestly, at the end of the day, I thought both were good.
Yeah.
I thought we had 2 really solid options. I see now, I think Jonathan had pointed out that Fifi shows up twice.
It does, and I pointed out, I edited the post to show that was correct.
Okay.
It's going to happen with, words whose protoforms end in a fricative whose vowel is I.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that. Like, it was only going to be for the I.
Yeah.
Because I gets added as an epenthetic vowel when needed.
Yeah.
And so essentially the reduplication reduplicates the I, but also the epenthetic for the negated form. And so yeah, it's ambiguous there, and I think we had this conversation last week. We had this conversation with somebody recently. Oh goodness, he dropped part of a cookie. Oh, I know. It was actually when we were talking to my cousins, and we were talking about how, there's tons of English forms that are ambiguous that people forget about. How, like, when someone says, I can dance, and you're like, wait, you can or you can't?
Right.
And, like, I can't dance, I can dance. Like, I can dance, I can't dance. Like, they're so similar that sometimes you literally have to stop a conversation. to figure out what was being said. And so like we do have those same kinds of things that happen even in English. And here it's, it may be positive reduplication or it could be negation. It's ambiguous. They're the same forms. And so, all right.
Truth is, this point is probably moot, though. And I'll tell you why. Most of the time, the root, and this counts as the root, so with reduplication or with negation or whatever, that's not going to be the end of the word. Most of the time, there's going to be something after it, and you want to stay like 50% of that time. It's going to be a form that starts with a vowel, and if it's a form that starts with a vowel, the consonant on the end is going to show up. So, well, it won't matter for our example here with the, but for anything else, the consonant will actually show up, and it'll either be an F or whatever other fricative it's supposed to be. And so, really, it's like, this is the only word it matters for. Because we're not even going to have very many verbs.
Right.
How many other verbs are we going to have that end in IF? As we proceed to make every verb in that way.
In an IF. I'm entering... D. Okay. Dark Horse, I'm entering your information here. Sandy, dusty. Okay. And it is a dune pun.
Wait, what?
Miyadi?
I don't remember seeing Miyadi. Oh, there it is.
I don't know how it's a dune pun, but there you go. But that's also because I just don't know dune puns.
I mean, are you trying to get Muad'Dib to fit into mouse protophonology? Is that what's going on? Did you install my new keyboard shortcut?
Oh, you're right, I did. I forget. How do I do it? Remind me?
Alt or Control or whatever one is the button. I don't remember which, whether
This
it's
one?
okay. K, U.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So sad when these are gone.
You mean like as soon as you finish that one? I would also like to point out he brought up a tub of cookies that I thought was going to be shared.
Did you want one?
It's good. It's good. No, I'm still full from my snack. I'm okay.
That's a good snack.
All right. So yeah, no, it's yeah, it's, I mean, you know, language is not always as elegant as you want it to be.
Yeah, I don't know where the "ya" is coming from there, Dark Horse. But,
Well, that's okay. Oh, and I was also going to check, just in case, because now it's the end of October. Oh, no, that'll be next week that I mentioned that one. So I have until next week. Okay. We're good. We've got it. We now know what we're doing with verbs. David is eating a cookie, so he's really just making a mess over here.
I found it. Don't worry, I found it.
My word. I actually can't remember though. In this language, we don't actually have straight up adjectives. So sandy or dusty is not going to work. It'll have to be sand or dust, right? Okay. So yeah, Dark Horse, because we don't actually have adjectives, we have some adjectival prefixes, which are going to be a very limited class. We can't have that straight up be sandy or dusty, but we can make it sand or dust. As David cleans the cookie crumbles off the floor.
It was just one. Oh my God. That's
okay,
so
cool.
good. Jesse, you have no idea because you didn't have any.
Casey, if you give a mouse a cookie, he will ask for a glass of milk.
That was my favorite book growing up, or for a while. But the one thing I loved, how well do you remember that book?
God, I love how loud that was, and I love that the container's empty and you still snapped all of the airtight shut. So I'm glad, Dark Horse, that you're okay with that, so that's good. How well do I remember it? Quite well, because if you recall, I made my living for grad school by doing childcare, so
right.
I actually never read that book as a kid.
Oh.
And so I was not introduced to it until I
How peculiar.
took care of tons of kids.
Okay, but there are a couple of things that are very amusing in that book. One is, of course, when he cuts his little hair, right? And it's just like a,
Minnie's
a cloud.
comment: if you give David a mouse, he'll make a language for it.
Oh.
That's so cute.
But yeah, so like he has got that one little hair and he gives himself a haircut and there's just like this huge cloud of hair that comes everywhere and that's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I like best...
His little overalls.
well, that's very cute. But no, he sees the comic books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he wants to draw a picture. He's going to draw a picture of his family. He starts to draw. And then when he finishes drawing the picture, it's like he was using crayons, but it is like art, like with shading, like perfectly done. It's hilarious.
Well, mice are better with crayons than you are, obviously.
I mean, the artwork in his drawing is better than the artwork in the book.
Oh, Jonathan. Oh, a cookie in the mouse house picture. That would have been. Mwah.
Oh.
Give David an anything. Including a talking onion.
I should tell them. Did I ever tell them? I don't think I did, about the books I made for my little sister. I made her a children's picture book every year, and one of them was called Crazy Coyote and the Onion, about a talking onion that is trying to convince Crazy Coyote to eat him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you told them about that.
Yeah.
No, Jonathan, you did not dream up the crown pronunciation. It happens. It happens. Okay.
What?
Crown.
What about it?
Crayon.
I ain't got time for that. Crayon.
He just said he thought he dreamed that pronunciation, but apparently not. And I was saying, no, you didn't.
What are the ways to pronounce it?
Well, some people say crayon, some people say crayon, some people, avoid it altogether and say, hand me the colors.
I feel like if I had to do it the long ways, I would say crayon, but then why? Just, it's a long way of saying crayon.
All right, are you ready to figure out what this does for our language?
I'm just throwing roadblocks up because I know what's coming next. And
I know, and
there are two things that are coming next, and I don't want to do either of them. It's really stressful.
By the way, in case you all noticed, we added a verb from the last time because we needed a verb that ended in a nasal just to show it across the paradigm. And so I totally did some as to run or scurry.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Tsum tsum.
Let's scroll up for that. There it is.
Yay. Thought that was really cute. Okay, so do we want to totally delete then the red tables?
Yeah.
And then eventually are we going to delete the option that didn't win, or do you want to put that one in red just to remember it?
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh are behind. What's that? How's it going? I know we get to see forever.
Boyz II Men is going to sue you.
But forever.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah.
I don't remember the words. But I remember these. Come on. It's so hard. You're supposed to do the backup harmony to say goodbye to yesterday.
Okay.
So now it's in red.
Can you scroll up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it did not. Interesting. We're going to take that out. There we go. Fixed.
What? Oh. Okay.
Well, you didn't need the page break anymore, and when you deleted it out, you didn't delete the page break, so I fixed it.
Got it.
Many good question. I think they are down to 3 now. I think there's only 3 of them.
Which one?
Boys to Men.
ABC, BBD. Mm.
Motown Philly back again. Grintel, good idea. That is one way to stay on topic. Just keep shoving pastries and sweet things in your direction.
Okay, so there are 3 things that are next on our plate. Mm-hmm. Number 1, not necessarily in this order, they're just things that we need to do. So number 1 is figuring out what to do with pronominal agreement, because it's pretty long. Number 2 is figuring out the forms for our incorporated negators. Mm-hmm. And number 3 is figuring out what is going to come after the verb.
Right.
Do you have an opinion about which one you want to tackle first?
I believe we had started last week deciding on some nouns that could be incorporated as negators. We were just generating a list at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
We do have this 1, 2, 3, 4 system for negation. Do we want to continue working through that?
I guess. This part, or this one, is what I see as the easiest of our avenues. So I guess, we might as well keep it on Easy Street.
Well, I mean,
next week we can get down to Electric Avenue.
But we also, that's where we had started, and this is actually why we kind of did a break and went into the reduplication, because we needed to figure out with negation how all of that would interact. And so...
Crayon?
What's that?
Crayon.
Hey, Miles.
I'm imagining, in kindergarten, cupcake parade. Everybody's saying, I'm drawing a horsey. Cupcake parade. May I have some crayons? What? Crayons. That's cupcake parade.
Is that cupcake parade's
in kindergarten?
In kindergarten.
In
Sure.
kindergarten.
Sure. Okay, so something flew in my eye, and by flew I mean a dust particle or something got in my eye.
Pikachu, I choose you. Now I choose you, Crayon. Sorry. All right.
Oh, David. So we have this brainstormed list. I think we should get it narrowed down. / I'm trying to get whatever's in my eye out, but
you want to switch with my help?
I already can't see the computer screen. You think your glasses are gonna help
Well,
me?
let's at least show everybody what it would look like.
Oh God.
Oh wow, it's like you don't even do anything to it. It looks just basically identical.
That hurts. That hurts.
Seriously, there's no difference. Ooh, actually I can see things a little bit far away. Look at that. Beginner's Hawaiian, Helix Latin.
Do you remember I have bifocals?
Yeah, so that's a little funky, but look at this. Look at this. I can read all the titles on those books.
I can't see anything with your glasses. I have that hurt. Okay, so I need my glasses back so I can see the screen.
But who looks better in each other's glasses? Does Jesse look better in mine, or do I look better in Jesse's? That's the question. Make it a poll.
Okay. Now, let's look at those nouns.
All right.
God, that hurt.
Yeah, but now you're not thinking about that thing in your eye anymore, are you?
To all the kids out there, don't go around stealing each other's glasses. It's not good for your eyes. Well, now I'm very concerned every time David drives without wearing glasses, now that I've seen. Oh, goodness.
I know this area very well.
Oh, goodness. Miles, I just want to point out, David typed the comment, not me. We're both signed into LangTime right now.
I think it's that's actually just the LangTime Studio account, so I think that both of us sign our names to that comment.
Anyway, I did not agree to that. Okay, so we have some ideas. I thought this was the best place to start. Now I'm staring at these nouns and I'm like,
Well, we got to narrow down.
we do need to narrow it down. And so, like, do we just go based on here's what we're feeling? I mean, we need to group them because we've got some movement separated. So you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some grouping here. So that way these are at least.
Daniel's straight, Jonathan.
Dude, I don't even know what's going on here.
You gotta look at it. I can't just say it.
Okay, let's see. It doesn't do it otherwise. Okay. Yes.
This is gonna bother me because I don't want to leave the food trash in here, so I'm gonna be right back. Oh, did you want me to bring up your new thing?
Damn, nice.
Your new thing, the hard ones.
Oh no, that's good.
Oh.
Also celebrate with Kopiko.
Got it.
Okay. And in case anyone's wondering what that was all about, I bought an entire pound bag of Gin-Gins, the hard ones, because Ragdoll was right, the hard ones are superior. And so that was rather exciting. So I got them in the mail. I have them all, but they are in a special candy jar on my desk downstairs. And so they're gonna stay down there where I can easily just grab them throughout the day. Okay, so we've got some broken up. We've got movement, we've got eating, we've got seeing, feeling, drinking, transactions, but interesting. I'm gonna put this closer to where was the drinking? There it is. Do we want more categories?
What are other types of activities? I mean, this covers a lot.
We've got the senses, eating, drinking, transactions, speaking, breathing. Oh, I'm gonna put singing up with, not with, but by speaking, so that way it's together. I'm just trying to think, like, I mean, obviously there are a lot more depending on if we wanted to separate movements into categories of movements. Move could obviously be a very generic thing.
Interestingly enough, squeak could be for speech as well, like he didn't make a squeak. And also you didn't hear a squeak, like it could be for both for different reasons.
Oh, something like duration, like not a second. I'm trying to figure out how that would work. Oh, in Ragdoll, it's in one of my, so it's from my mom's old candy jar, and it's a Holly Hobby one. And so if you've ever heard of that, I have an old Holly Hobby candy jar, little glass candy jar, and it's full of Gin-Gins. It makes me very happy. But duration. Okay, like some sort of like it lasted 24 hours, right? It didn't last 24 hours. So like last, endure, like some of those kinds of, if those are actually verbs. But this language wasn't going to have many verbs, right?
Yeah, so probably leave that one out. However, I would like to point out, who was it, what Noel said. Noel or Noel?
Noel.
Why do I keep going back to Noel then?
No idea.
All right, Noel.
No idea.
No idea. No idea. Okay, Noel. What Noel said was, I can't imagine any mouse saying, we have too many negators. If anything, they'd have a committee of any new negation things. And I agree. So we don't have to be concerned about coming up with the sum total number of negators. Once it's a strategy, however many we have, once it's a strategy, you can always invent more. And honestly, I see them doing that. So it's like if a couple of weeks from now we decide, you know what, this would also be a good negator. There's no reason we can't just add it.
No, I'm going to draw the line. Today is the only day that we can add negators.
Today is Negator Day.
This is it. No, that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I am like my left eye still hurts from having put your glasses on.
Well, you know what they said. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
TLC had some good advice.
Why'd you go chasing my waterfalls?
Because you handed me them and told me to put them on.
By the way, my glasses are now called my waterfalls.
Yes. Okay. Would they have a mouse word for finger? Would this be a thing? You're totally texting during our live stream.
Yeah, but let me tell everybody who I'm texting. Texting John Quijada.
Okay, that's
creator
allowed.
of Ithquail, who's coming down here for the weekend. Yeah! Super excited.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm trying to set up a thing where we're going to go see Dune in the theater.
The Cupcake Parade, never later, Mouse Negator. Yes.
Woo. All right. Oh, Noel from the Great British Baking Show and IT Crap. That's why. That's probably why.
Oh, Richmond?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, it was a surprise to Jesse when I pointed out that Richmond and Noel from the Great British Baking Show were the same person, because I was like, he's basically the same person. How could you not recognize it? Anyway, I thought that was cute. But anyway, everybody's out of it. I got it.
Whatever. So, would mice have a word for finger differentiated from, say, paw?
No. I want to delete finger.
Then I am deleting it. That was my question.
Yeah.
Would mice separate scratching type movement from any movement dealing with the paw?
Text send.
So if you scroll up.
You gotta scroll up here.
Mine are on the same page. Your poor document is lacking. I do like whisker, so like that's fine.
Yeah, whisker stays. I think we.
The question is, could we put whisker as one type of movement and another type of movement as paw/claw? One of those two.
Yeah, I was
kind of covered that.
I had actually moved on to the second question. If we could rescue paw and claw, I don't think we can. And now I'm trying to decide which of the two makes most sense, paw or claw.
It depends on if we specifically did want that sort of scratching movement. I mean, but this also rests on, will they have a basic root that means the little claws at the ends of their little fingers? Because they don't necessarily need a basic root for it, and I don't know that they will. Paw, yes.
Paw, yes.
And so I am in favor of getting rid of claw.
Let's do it.
Okay. So now we have 2 movements. Okay, so, well, David's introducing me to IT Crowd. I am now through 1 season?
Yeah, so we just watched the first episode of the 2nd season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's only 6 seasons?
I think there's only 4.
4, maybe? Okay,
And
maybe
then a
like,
special.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they do have little tiny scratching sounds. That is very, very true. But in nature, they wouldn't as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only reason we hear tiny scratching sounds is because they're scratching up against all of the things in our house. And I know exactly the sound you're talking about. Been there.
We both have.
And so yeah, I get that. But like, I think with them, being out in their little dirt and mud burrows, it may be quite different. And it's not to say they won't have a word for claw. That is not at all what I'm saying. It's just that in the same way that we have, we have fingernails that we can make scratchy noises with too. But like in English, we don't have a basic root for that really. We've got to call it a fingernail and a toenail. Right? And nail also means many other things. Like it's not.
Yeah, how did we get nail as the substance versus nail and hammer?
Oh, it's related to Latin unguis and Greek onyx. But I think it actually started as the metal nail. I think is its original meaning, and then it was extended. Anyway, check that later. But, so that is to say, they may not have a specific word for it. Okay, Miles is saying paw is faster movement, whisker is slower movement. Whiskers perhaps are used to detect a space's width to make sure they fit. Yeah, Dark Horse, if they want to fight, they could attach something to their tail. Okay.
That's a neat idea.
It is. The little weapons?
Yeah, with that. I'm just realizing something else I don't have up here. I'll be right back.
I'm a little concerned that you thinking of their tails as whips for weapons makes you think of something you've forgotten. Goodness only knows. So Miles, yeah, I don't know, because I also think that somebody had said last week that because they have poor eyesight, their whiskers are used to also detect movement. And so I think that what we were maybe thinking, and maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but paw would be for movement of the mouse body, and whisker would be movement that is sensed. Perhaps like movement of the wind or things like that, but I can't for sure remember. But yeah, they're definitely 2 different categories, so maybe it will come down to faster and slower movement. Now we had whisker specifically there because we were thinking that's how they sensed movement around them in their area, right? So it's like the wind didn't even ruffle my whisker. Correct. Kind of thing.
Yes. Okay,
so is it then safe to say paw is movement, self-movement versus movement, environment?
I mean, I'm happy to decide it on a case-by-case basis, but...
Ish.
All right, there we go. Anyway, keep going. Keep going. I'm listening.
So perhaps. Minnie actually thinks it's the other way around. That the fingernail precedes the use of nail as a fastener. I have to look that up. Ooh, it's the origin of ungulate. Nice. So anyway, yeah, we can decide more about like which, and it could be a verb by verb basis, whether it takes a whisker or a paw or whatever makes more sense. Then the question is, did we want all the senses to have their own negator? So we have sight, feel, and hear. Do we want them all to have completely different negators?
I think so. I mean, like as many as reasonably makes sense, you know?
Okay, so are we still good with star being the sight negator?
Yeah, I thought that was such a unique idea that we had to do it.
And then twitch would be to feel. We can keep with that. And then hearing, we've got lots of options, and we really need to narrow them down. So we've got raindrop, owl, wing beat, buzz, and squeak. Are you? Oh, that is cute.
There you go. Now he's got a little weapon in his tail too.
All right, so
Yes.
nail was indeed a protoform for Proto-Indo-European.
I'm not super surprised. And it referred to.
It's fingernail, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Finger or toe.
Mm-hmm. Now we're just compound it to make it more specific. So we've got these for hearing. I was asking if there are any that you felt more or less.
Let's do. I'm gonna eliminate wing beat.
Okay. Okay, I like raindrop, but I think I'm gonna eliminate that because I feel like they're close to the ground, and a raindrop would potentially be perceptibly louder than a buzz high up in the air, you know?
Okay, I'm gonna eliminate squeak, but not eliminate it. I'm gonna put it down with speech. I think it might be better than word.
And I like buzz better than owl, if for no other reason than, I don't know. Then again, I mean, owls don't make a lot of noise. You get the hoo hoo in the nighttime. I guess like I get why we had said owl. But there's a lot of predators, and I don't think owls should be prioritized over any other bird predator.
Okay.
Because hawks are also very dangerous for mice.
Yeah.
Perhaps even more so with them being out all day. Yeah. But that would be, you know, wing beat would have been better than the owl, but then we would need a word for wing beat.
Yeah, I know.
So I like buzz. I think that's good. Oh, I didn't even read. Everyone was like, ooh, I like owl. And then I'm like, let's get rid of it. I didn't even see that. Sorry.
Not at the moment, Casey, but...
I think technically on YouTube you can. Didn't we install that?
Yeah, but the thing is, we have to actually make YouTube memberships.
Yeah.
It was something that I asked for your help with because I didn't feel confident on that end.
That was something that we had talked about and started the process of
Yeah, memberships
About
and stickers.
10 months ago.
And stickers.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so sorry for all the owls.
Yeah. We definitely have to have crumb. That's good.
Okay, but here's my issue, and this is, so Jonathan, one of the reasons I didn't want owl, the idea of owl was specifically with how quietly they fly, which is true. But like you also want them to be able to hear the thing that they're saying, like this is the smallest bit of hearing you can have. And I don't think they would hear the owl flying because they are quiet when they swoop. And that's the whole reason that they get eaten. So it's like, if you can't hear it, then why would that be your specific word to negate?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, because we're trying to find
the hear the owl.
Yeah, we're trying to find the smallest thing you can hear, the smallest thing you can eat, the smallest thing you can. And like, I don't think you can. I don't know. It didn't feel right. Sorry for all the owls. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Did we?
It's so funny, by the way, too. We did, but we haven't gotten that far. But I'm now showing Twin Peaks to Jessie, so we have not gotten to the point where she will get the reference. The owls are not what they seem. Close.
I don't remember. Did you remember discussing setting up a P.O. box?
Yeah, we discussed it briefly.
Wow. Listen, a lot has happened in a year. I'm a little... But yes, I've now watched 3 episodes of Twin Peaks, and already I'm getting many references. So I'm getting there. Okay. So we've got those.
Jessie does get that, though.
What's that? Oh, the gum. Yes. I get it because of an episode we watched last night.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you've actually seen 4 episodes.
Yes, I have. Yes, I've seen 4.
All right. Raindrop is good for this.
I do like that. I like that much better. So yeah.
It's very cute. I love this. I love this.
Yes. And transactions can include things like throwing and like all sorts of cool things. And so like that's also kind of cool because like throw in some senses could take paw as its negator, but in other instances could take seed because it's like if I throw you the ball versus I'm just gonna throw the plate. Sometimes you gotta throw a plate. If I'm not sending it to somebody.
All right.
Woo! Yes. Oh, Cupcake Parade. Get that reference too.
Okay. So I like squeak over word.
I do too.
All right. Let's just get that and note the.
I don't know if singing would be separate from speaking. This one I was not super. Unless we just change it to the world of music if they have instruments. But even then, I'm struggling with seeing why singing would be separate from speaking.
Hold up.
I feel like you're making assumptions about how they sing.
We can do squeak for now. We can always come back because that otherwise we'd have to worry about how to actually come up with a word for note and that whole bit.
And toot. Okay. I mean, breath for breathing, sure.
It's also that one's good. It's also for living.
I almost had another idea, but no.
I almost had another idea too, which was how this might have come to be. So we do, rhyme reduplication in the paradigm, but we don't do reduplication from the front. And if we did, we could say that the idea was, there was a root for breathing, and then you reduplicate on the front. It could be like to breathe a breath or to breathe once or something like that. It's diminutive. And then they'll look at that as being maybe the smallest portion of it, because the root is CVC, and so the reduplicated prefix will end up looking exactly like the word on its own. And that might give them the idea to kick the whole thing off.
Wow, that was not at all where my ideas were going, but that is impressive. Do you want to go ahead and write that out?
No.
I haven't seen the chocolate bunnies yet, have I?
Oh yes, I remember. It was when they were looking at Laura's diary the first time.
Oh my gosh!
And then that's where the scene ends.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
holding mine in my hand. A small box of chocolate bunnies.
Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, yes, and Chris, we are doing a
Yes.
French negation strategy.
Negation française.
Did you want to write that out? Your idea that you just said?
I didn't, but do we have an H in this language?
I don't think so, but let me double check.
Also, I think we ultimately end up
No,
having...
we don't.
Ultimately, we should end up having both of these. And if we do dot, then there are going to be dots in this orthography.
Okay. And then receipt would be like for like bigger writing, like not even a receipt for like a letter or a memo or something.
Yeah, and it'll come later. So.
I mean, do you want to commit to dot in terms of thinking ahead? Or do you want to do like scratch or something?
There are no dots in Ingala or in Tapasha. In Tapasha, essentially the dots became diamonds. And in Ingala, there's just, brush strokes. So these could be dots. This could be dots.
Could you think about, like Minnie says, orthography based on like ink pad handprints? Yeah, cute little mouse prints.
Where? Who said this?
Minnie. Go up 3 from, we got mouse braille, we got tail, and then we've got Minnie.
I see it. I was thinking of it being much more architectural.
So
We'll get there. All right.
we'll figure out how they write.
Okay. So what I would rather do for this is let's. Okay, so we don't have H.
I love how I
We
just
don't.
verified that for you and told
I
you
know.
no, we don't. And then you went and checked it.
But I was about to follow it up with another thing that we didn't
Uh-huh.
have, which was ha.
No.
And we don't have ha.
No.
Our only weight fricative is F in the protoform.
Mm-hmm. We don't have that fricative either.
We don't.
But can't you imagine their little tummies as they're breathing?
I'd say between, did we ask Davide how his name is pronounced?
But first of all, what are the heights of the species of this game? That's a really good question.
I was going to tell you.
I believe it is, we have asked you before, and I believe it is Davide.
Davide, okay, between 2.5 and 6 feet. The mice will definitely be the shortest, but they're not going to be like, teeny tiny. They'll actually be like, 2-ish feet.
Okay, so you're thinking something short, right? Like, consonant, vowel, consonant. You said.
Yeah, I was thinking of weef. I was trying to come up with something like that was onomatopoeic for breathing.
We could get weef. We could get woof. Woof.
Woof.
Woof.
Well, we couldn't get hoof.
Woof. I'm just very much aspirating my W. Woof.
Well, but you can't. But you can't. It's not allowed.
You know what? It's allowed when I say it's allowed. Pronunciation guru in the house.
I have no idea how many centimeters anything is. I really apologize. Okay.
Okay, but we can end up getting the upside down H before an E.
Well, yeah, but that's re.
Right, but re.
Where are our sound changes? Are they still to come? Here we go. Woof, woof.
We can get foo with a W at the end. Foo. And then it becomes fee.
What is the W? Okay, Y and W go to je and va respectively in front of first I and N, and then U and O. So it's V. Protoform woof becomes V.
Okay.
All right.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So breathe. Is let's do it to the side. Poof. Becomes breathe. All right. And then
yeah, Davida, it would be 2 feet would be closer to 60 centimeters. Ooh, people are very much into the idea of lithography of either lots of dots or only dots. Ooh, a stenographer shorthand. Ooh.
By the way, if you want to know like what originally the orthography was going to be, it was this. Here, I can show you the whole thing.
Your color backgrounds. Yes, pretty big mice.
And there are dots.
I always go to the bottom of your website where it lets me pick.
You like that? Or do you like this?
I like black and white.
Really?
Oh, thank you.
That's so high contrast. It's really awful to look at.
That's what I need.
This is actually apparently the most neutral way to view the site.
I hear that, but this is not neutral.
Hold on a sec. This shows you all the different ways. You can change every page to anything you want.
And I'm like, give me.
This is actually a problem.
Oh god, no! That I start seeing dots after a while when
this
I try to read.
This is too bright. It's too bright.
I love it. It's how my eyes work.
No, it's not how anybody's eyes work.
Well, it's how mine work. Because I'm telling you what hurts the least out of all of those options you just showed me.
I've studied how to do PowerPoints, and it is light on dark.
When it gives me every time we work on PowerPoints together, I have to keep looking away from the computer screen because then I see dots in my eyes.
It's light on dark. Anyway. Oh, it's us. All right. Okay.
V. V.
The only thing that's off about this is, of course, and then that would be that one, because the other reduplication would be V. And I'm going to make it out, because the other reduplication would be V. And actually, V.
What is this for? Sorry.
I'm just gonna. That's if you reduplicate the rhyme.
Oh, for the chart up above, it's gonna come out as V.
Woo! Chris, dropping the T. Jesse's first wrong opinion.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not an opinion, it's reality of how my eyes work.
Her entire
Second
phone
of all,
and computer are all not in dark mode.
Second of all, that is correct. Second of all, and I do want to point this out, Chris says it's my first wrong opinion. And we've been at this for 1.5 years now.
First of many.
And it's my first in 1.5 years. Tell me, Chris, can you give me the tally on David's wrong opinions?
I don't have any. You all eat your onions and get your salmonella. Look it up.
I really didn't want you to see that. I saw it yesterday on the CDC Twitter page and I was like, oh, David's going to gloat.
It's
but
fine. Look,
we don't have onions in any of our food this week, so
that's
we're fine.
right. We'll just go 3 or 4 months without onions, and we'll be good. And I'm sure then we'll get back to eating onions all the time as we are wont.
David eats more onions now than he has in the last 40 years. It's great. Okay, I like this.
All right.
Breathe a breath. Okay.
And then here, I'll just.
Chris says at least 3.
So no, this gave Nice the idea.
As he's typing that,
Preparation.
I like how he says he's all in dark mode, which he is. But Pages
Doesn't have it.
well, the sidebar is in dark mode, because look at my light mode sidebar.
Yeah,
So,
but like it's Word. Word has full dark mode,
Yes.
which is amazing.
And so I sent that to him. I can't believe
so
he's
does
not
Text edit.
he's
Actually,
not happier about Word anymore.
yeah, text edit and notes both have a full dark mode, and I use it. And I like it.
I tried going dark mode for a day on my phone, and it hurt.
You know, the lack of blaring light into your eyes hurt. It's kind of like when somebody goes running from a room. It's too quiet.
Listen, I don't like reading on screens anyway, but like make it dark background, and it's like my eyes get sucked in, and it hurts.
Well,
I think it's also my pupils like get too big, and then the little pricks of light hurt. So all the light makes my pupils stay small, and it's okay.
you just need some shoulder geese to honk at you.
Because I'm also that person who has to get the baby dilating drops at the eye doctor. Like they have to give me the ones that are literally made for babies, because otherwise they work too well and my eyes won't undilate for days. And like my pupils are like, you can't even see that I have irises. And it's insane. Anyway. Let's see. No, you're not gonna die, Minnie. It's fine. Thank you, Logan. Thank you. Pies for eyes. That is exactly.
Normal minds don't fly. Flying minds are extra. Dark Horse.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Demon Jesse.
This
Yes,
worst,
leave
by
me
the
in
way.
my dark lair.
This makes me think of Wooster and Jeeves. Woof, woof.
And somebody asked if we were going to save it for the dog language. And of course, like, they could hear dogs differently. Just because we hear them as woof woof doesn't mean everybody does. And so they could hear those barks quite differently. And if they want onomatopoeia for referring to the dogs in their language, it would probably be different. Just like if you've never seen it, there's like that YouTube video of like onomatopoeic animal sounds from languages around the world. And
in Spanish, it's wow wow, which I really like. Wow wow wow. Makes a lot of sense.
It really does. Okay, well, we just did a decision.
Yeah.
We have a strategy.
Yep.
We have a new verb. I want my Coca-Cola. Oh yes, I think there is a Chinese dialect that has wang wang as dogs, and of course we also say bark, and so burk burk is also another one.
Wah wah.
Wonder why. Why? She went away. Cheers.
Cheers. And I wonder.
Stay.
My little runaway.
Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan was the one who asked it, and he said that was a low effort joke. Sorry, Jonathan. I took it seriously. Cheers, Ragdoll, with your gin gin. I will be eating a gin gin later tonight.
Kobiko, the official candy of Del Shannon. It's true. Look it up.
Minnie says, new series, David sings off screen while I lip sync. I like that. Flying is a verb for the unique mice. Nice. Zachary Riri is he's saying that's a dog barking. Okay. Regardless, it's fun to talk about how other languages represent animal sounds, just because it's like it's just very interesting to see how we can all hear the same sound but come away with so many different interpretations of it. I love it.
Okay, so this is going to be a really important question. When we're creating these prefixes, there's going to be like two ways of doing this. One of them I think makes more sense, but one of them is shorter. So, for one of them, the prefix is either going to be CB or CBC. The other is going to be CB or C. I think CB, CBC makes more sense, but CBC is shorter. What? Did you not hear the slash?
Your slight pause. But it's like at some point on you're saying to me a CBC, which one makes more sense? CBC. And it just made me laugh. I totally get what you're saying. I completely understand what you just said to me, but can you...
Yeah.
Does it not make you giggle when you stop and listen to it?
No, it does not. I take things very seriously. But I will write it up so that you can
I prefer my C's with some B's, but only if they have a C with the B and the C and the B and the...
I'll write it up so everybody can see the difference. Cupcake Parade, love to hear that. I also want to hear a mashup of Don't Stop Believin' by Journey and The Spirit of Radio by Rush. Same key, same chord progression, same beat. Essentially the same song, and I love them both. Oh.
Your slight pause.
Oh my goodness.
I do have slight pause.
Yes, you do. Oh my goodness. be a mouse-ish romance. I think it sounds adorable. Oh, I love it.
Minnie says students in a room were all silent reading, and they were quiet all hour until she opened a haichu, and they all lost their shit. And by that, she means they all like ratted her desk wanting candy.
Well, it's haichu. I mean, that's what the kids like. Jessie didn't even know what haichu was.
Nope. I still haven't had one. I just know we have them in the house.
Huh.
CVC would not make CVCC because they would end up, I mean, a consonant would still get deleted anyway. So like as a protoform, perhaps, but they would still end up getting deleted, and we would get that epenthetic vowel if it were the end of the word. And so
that's versus. Okay. Pros. More authentic. Cons. Longer. Option 2.
the tragedy of Romeo's and Julie Rat.
Mm.
Oh my word, dark horse. Brilliant.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
They can even speak differently with the rat dialect. Oh my god.
And of course, Romeo's would say his own name is Lomeo's. and it would be Julie Rat instead of Julie Rat. I love it.
Oh.
Oh, and that's exactly how I said it too. Brilliant.
And then,
And Jake, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is how it would be. By the way, it's really funny how sometimes, you know, the wrong word comes out of your mouth whenever you're like going for a word. It happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
David's pretending like it doesn't happen to him.
Doesn't.
But I was in class,
yeah.
and you know, working with students, and I wanted to say like what they had said was absolutely right. And what came out was actually right. And it's crazy how much different the tone is when you're like, oh yeah, you're actually right. And then I stopped and I was like, no, absolutely was what I meant to say. I'm so sorry, because it sounded so condescending and rude to be like, yeah, you're actually right. Good job. Luckily, it's a student who knows me and knew that I was being legit when I said, oh my gosh, that was the wrong word. And I felt really bad. You're actually right. I meant the other word.
So let me give you a tour of these options here. Option 1, easy. Option 2, it's shorter. However, since this is Proto W, it's only going to show up as V in front of U or O or E, right? Otherwise it'll show up as W in front of A and E and E. And then the other one, it's like, well, do you include the coda F there and give it the low tone, or do you ignore the coda F and just give it high tone because it's CV? That's why it's a little bit confusing. Okay, Davide, can you tell us how you would like to mix the first and second option?
Also, Dark Horse has gone on. Oh, true apothratery. Thy drugs are quick. And
I do bite my tail at things.
Tie back.
Do you bite your tail at us? I do not bite my tail at you, but I do bite my tail.
Jonathan, I understand that.
You will find me a grave mouse.
Okay. Waiting for the mixing option, see if we get that.
In the meantime, you wanted poison? You know, poison.
So the Belle de Boeuf kind and not
yeah,
the kind of Romeo and Juliet, where I was like, goodness.
Yeah, let's do it.
This went dark real fast.
If I were you, I'd take precaution.
Okay. That is confusing about whether you would pick the low or the high tone.
Yeah. So, just off the bat, but you gotta say what it is you're thinking, not just.
My God, like I'm on edge just waiting to find out what it is.
I mean, do you have any thoughts just looking at these two, just straight off?
Graham and Earth Day Burley. Yes. Indeed it is. It's the burly person who shows up at your door to say, Earth cares.
Oi, you got a second story light on. Huh?
And that would be you who leaves the light on. I need to hire this Earth Day Burley and get the lights turned out.
Yeah, that's right. Paperback writer and last train to Clarksville. But
oh my gosh, yeah.
But of course, that was the Monkees, and they were a parody band of the Beatles, so that might have been intentional.
Whilst we wait, I do have a preference. I'm deciding.
Hat tip anime fan.
That's your greatest creation.
I know, shit.
You'll never top it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I almost said. Good grade.
That's pretty good, John. You gotta read it out loud.
Oh, why is this bag so dot at it? Nice. So anyway, yes, I do have a preference, but my question to you is, did you want to put this to a vote in the comment section, or is this like, do you also have a preference?
Well, I don't know. Like, I wanted to hear your preference. Dang. I lost this idea. All right.
And I was really excited too. I am leaning toward option 1. I get that it's longer, and that is unfortunate because it's always going to be adding a syllable. However, in option 2, it's only not going to add a syllable if it starts with a vowel. And
right.
I'm just now remembering something.
Yeah.
Let me see if we have any, because we're not going to have tons of verbs. And every verb we've created so far starts with a consonant. And so it's like, it's not gonna save us that much. And even if we build out every vowel from here on out starts with a verb, a vowel.
Yeah.
Every verb, vowel, whatever V word I was going for, I just really feel like option 2 is not saving us enough energy to make it worthwhile.
All right, let's do it. So let's start coming up with forms for these things, and we'll go ahead and do it like this. We'll do it underneath, and we'll say before C, B, before B,
Beef. Beef.
Okay, and then we'll copy this. So, by the way, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend Peter Greenaway's Prospero's books. If you like The Tempest, that's the thing for you right there. Though, of course, a language I created for something else was used in the prequel to The Tempest, Lampedusa, that we did over in England in Plymouth.
Why did you choose The Tempest, by the way? Did I ever ask you?
Which one?
The Tempest, when you did a translation?
Wasn't
it McDevitt?
For McDevitt? So me personally, not the guy in Plymouth, because that was his
you.
I love it. It was my favorite Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know The Tempest?
I've read it, but like it wasn't my favorite enough to the point where I don't really remember.
Yeah, the only other one that comes close was like, and this I think really loses it in the last act, is Coriolanus.
Not read that one.
It's hilarious.
Mine are Much Ado About Nothing and Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, Much Ado About Nothing is great. Midsummer Night's Dream, I keep wanting to like it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Paw,
Whisker, Star, Twitch, Buzz, Crumb, like, do any of these scream at you, I have a form for this?
no, but Noel thinks we should use nyonk.
I've met and talked to both Penn and Teller. Teller more. He's a good guy. I like that guy.
Oh, we have a word for seed. Do you want to go ahead and put that in?
Yeah, what is it?
Let me pull its protoform. I know its current form. Adjective TAR is its protoform.
Really?
There you go.
Oh, brother.
Oh, we're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah. Let's cut the first vowel.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right, good.
And Dark Horse, yes. The movie Much Ado About Nothing version with Denzel Washington, Kenneth Branagh, Emma Thompson, Keanu Reeves, Michael
Keaton.
Keaton, thank you.
Yep.
Brilliant movie. And the scene where Kenneth Branagh is behind the bushes.
That was okay. My friends and I, there was at one point where like we rewound it several times. The part after that, because the three look at each other and they go,
yeah, and oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. Oh, good stuff. Okay. So we've got seed.
okay.
Was there? Okay, and then everything else was
Here,
raindrop.
Put the protoform up.
Oh wait, whisker. Glad you decided how you want to do reduplication here. Protoform for whisker, when you're ready, is JENSU.
JENSU?
Yes. Which
What?
comes out as jelly.
Goodness gracious.
We'll get there.
Oh my goodness. Soak me in gravy and call me a biscuit.
Okay, biscuit.
Mm.
Oh my god, I'm gonna start calling you biscuit.
Okay, and then let's call this.
Wait, is it the Ted Lasso? What does her mom call her? Rebecca's mom. Isn't it biscuit?
Sausage.
Sausage! Biscuit, sausage. It's all the same family.
Sausage, biscuit. Mm.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make some smaller roots, shall we?
Could do that. Like, there's an argument to be made that it could be that, but nah, that's silliness.
No, because if it's going to be the th, then it needs to be low tone because the N was the coda and it made it low tone.
Right.
And
Right.
the is the start of the second syllable.
Sorry. Well, so it's either that or that. Second one's a little shakier. As long as Biblaridian is not watching, we could do either.
Okay, so can you... Okay, I'm going to give you some forms, but of course, never mind. None of them start with a vowel, so this does not help. Because je low tone is pretty set, yeah?
Yeah.
Because we're taking that first syllable, which is jen.
Mm-hmm.
The N is getting lost. It's leaving a low tone, je. And then we're going to get a new consonant like je mate, or je coup. Whatever we get. The question is if we do have a verb form. Goodness, vowel form. I can keep my V words straight. My word. Okay, so I'm going to give you some words that mean nothing. And you're going to combine them as you also text.
I'm sorry, this is really important.
I'm staring at you. You know what you didn't bring up?
What would you like?
Did not bring up my kombucha.
Oh, which one do you want?
All those times you went downstairs.
Which one do you want?
Well, let's figure this out and then I'll celebrate with the kombucha.
Got it.
Okay, so you, adjective SA, is going to be one. It's going to mean nothing, but these are some roots we have just here.
Oh, wait, I thought we were figuring this out.
Before V, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what they looked like as words.
Oh.
We don't have any verbs that start with a vowel. So I'm just giving you some vowel initial roots to be like, how would this look?
Okay. All right, here we go. I got it.
And I'm going to give you one more.
Okay.
It's O, engma, E, comes out as onge.
Okay, so...
Yeah. And so I just want to see, like...
Sorry, I keep bumping.
Yeah, I know you do. So...
Come on.
And it's coming from Yensu. I'm feeling the N.
And it's the easier one, and it's kind of like the one that makes more sense. So.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Miles says, "Love booch, money, drugs." Got my booch. That sounds wrong. Something about that sounds really wrong. Okay. So now I'm gonna take suggestions. Okay.
Oh, which one do you want? You want me to spray it?
Yes, please.
Got it.
I'm just like getting to where I need to be with our discussion here. Perfect. All right, so we still need words for paw, star, twitch, buzz, crumb, raindrop, squeak, dot, and receipt. And I saw, who was it that said nyok? I forget who it was. We can definitely add that as a potential root. I need to get into my correct keyboard, which I believe, well, I'm gonna have to remember how that comes out. I think it just still comes out as nyok. But, oh, have fun in class, Ragdoll.
There you go.
Ooh.
All right, doll.
Tropical turmeric.
Yeah, get tamed.
Woo!
What are you gonna do with this bottle? What are you gonna do with this bottle?
I don't know, but I need to do something nice with it because it's got little bees on it and everything.
It's blue. It's just amazing.
So pretty. In case you didn't know this, blue bottles cannot be recycled. So if you have a blue bottle, then do something with it. Craft with it or something.
Yeah.
It sounds wrong because Cha is the worst English photo. That's funny.
Yeah.
And so nyok was one of our suggestions, which I believe just comes out. I think you're right. I think it's just nyok, haitong, as a word. I kind of feel like a nyok would be a dot. Nyok.
Huh.
Nyok.
It's cute. well observed on Hamlet. So what you're saying is that the Lion King 1.5 is essentially Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. High five, Grindel. Okay, Dot. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want some out?
Also, yeah. Just be careful when you open it, because even though I didn't shake it, it's always, a little. Goodness, that killed my hand. Thanks. A little teamwork here. Oops.
Certainly is slippery slidey.
Right. Where did my, oh my word, my keyboard disappeared for a minute. Okay. Thank you. Did someone get a picture of that? Ooh. Okay, so put in the forms before C and before V.
Okay.
Oh, that's delightful.
Very easy.
Okay, Miles is suggesting TSUI or TSUJ.
For
Isn't it very pretty? For a form.
I
which,
see.
Which is very starry.
Yeah.
Do we like the Squeak or Su? Su.
First, it's going to be C or C, right?
Well, in its final form, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think the Tsui.
Okay.
Let's throw up Graham's Lexergy. I want to double check.
So Casey, actually neither of us are vegan. I used to be vegan. For about a decade I was.
This is...
But I am not anymore.
This is Tapala.
Oh my god.
No wonder it was... Wow. My bad there.
That didn't look right. Every dog is best dog. Aww. There we go. Sweet. Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I did like that.
Okay, so does that mean before a vowel it's going to be thwa? And then before a consonant...
We're going to have to find out.
Thwee?
We're going to have to find out.
Dark horse be gone. Yes. Yeah. Did I gain psychic power? I'm sure I did. Always had it, I'm sure.
Okay, we don't need this because...
And Noel, you on the new site, you actually have to go to, because it's Lexergy.com is just for, anyone to use Lexergy. But then if you do the /LangTime/SC, you will get to our specific ones, and the three options are right at the top. But you have to go to Lexergy.com/LangTime/SC.
Well, look at that. Whoa.
And it does not.
I think that what's going to happen is...
But we had a rule about an epenthetic consonant when you have three vowels in a row.
We did, didn't we?
An L.
An L. Right. And we put it where it would make sense, and so it's going to come out as...
As Thwee L. Thweeta! God, this is such a delightfully, It's like it's not a strong taste. It's just delightful.
Here, it has been.
It's raw.
It has been 12 years since I've had alcohol, but I'll give it a shot.
I love how you think this is alcohol. It's also though, I think it has pineapple in it. Because it's tropical.
Let's see.
Yeah,
pineapple juice. Oh, wow. No, I can't drink that.
The other one is blueberry basil. So next time I try that.
Contains over 2 billion organisms at time of bottling! ! This is a point in its favor?
What's that? Yeah. Live cultures. That's what you're getting from kombucha.
You're drinking 2 billion organisms.
Yes. And do you know that yogurt is live cultures too? And you're getting billions of organisms.
Like, do you get to know what their names are? Like, do you have a choice about which organisms they are?
Well, with 2 billion, no. Okay. My house is thrilled with that form. Jonathan nominates ejective P, EP for raindrop.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Okay. And uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. I like that.
Yes, these are not amateur biotics. Very pro. You're right, Mini and Dark Horse. Okay, I like those.
Oh man, I want to do some pub trivia.
Oh.
Freaking cool.
Stay grammar, have fun. Do we want something vowel initial for some variety?
I think so. Isn't streptococcus, isn't that strep throat?
No.
Isn't that why it's called strep throat?
But this is Streptococcus thermophilus.
I think it's thermophilus is how we would do that in English.
Thermophilus. Okay. Let's...
Eep. Squeak.
With a P?
No, with a K.
Oh, E? Do you want to...
What do you think?
Definitely do that. I just very suddenly was like, ooh. Must be all that good stuff floating through my...
What do you think? IP, IK, IT, or IC?
I would go with IC or IP.
Let's do IC then.
Contracted a bad case of the yogurt. And Tim is suggesting Bruce as one of the forms, and Oots is Noel's suggestion. Oots is a twitch. Is
Okay.
that not a twitch? Oots.
Yes.
And then...
Okay. So then that's going to come out as... Oh boy.
Oh,
Mm.
goodness, my toe.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it's across the board. And then I think instead of RUS, which was Tim's suggestion, how about we do RAS and make that buzz? Russ. Huh. But it'll be loss.
Huh. I'm willing to
Gross. Maybe it's more of an O. Gross.
I
I
would
look
have said
up-
it was something like, I don't know. Zr.
Well, we can't get a Z initially.
Can't we? I thought that was the one thing that we could do. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, but we could have. But anyway.
Okay, so then.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No. Let's do roos for something else. Roos can be a chrome.
No, it can be us.
Well, his suggestion was literally R-U-S.
Yeah, but then you changed it.
But because I had an idea, but you want, we haven't used too many of those, so let's use it.
We haven't used any L yet.
Right, but
Can we
we-
have anything in code? No, we couldn't have anything in code position.
Yes, we can.
No, I'm pretty sure we couldn't have ejectives in code position.
Oh, except ejectives, yeah.
Yeah, and that was.
But we can make crumb the R word, which becomes an L word, and buzz can be your idea with the ejective S.
Hold on. I think it should be Rus. And I'll tell you why. There's a song by the Electric Light Orchestra, one of their more popular songs called Don't Bring Me Down. And kind of like, it's not really a chorus, like, I don't know if it's like a bridge or something, but it's like, or an interlude. But it's probably, don't bring me down. And then they just say this random word, which I believe is Rus. Don't bring me down, Rus. And then like everybody's wondering like, what the heck are you saying? And there's like kind of a story behind it of like, oh, they just came up with this word. And so now that'll be the word for bugs.
Yes.
Don't bring me down. And always remember though, with this language, anytime you have proto-U, it's gonna end up as U. If you want U, you gotta give us OU.
And so crumb should be ejective S O-U.
No, it's not Grace. I think Cupcake Grace is right. I think it is Frus.
Ejective S O-U could be crumb.
Oh, okay.
No, it's going to be TS, not TH.
Oh, and then it's two vowels, so it is high tone, right?
Yes, because they come together to create oo. OU is oo, and it'll be high tone.
Okay, so now Minnie is saying it's Groose. Huh. Like as in... No, but in German it's Grüß. Grüß. With an U, not an U. Interesting. Because I was thinking maybe he thought he was saying, you know, Gruß. It's because it's Grüß dich, not Gruß dich, right? Grüß dich. In German? Auf Deutsch? Grüß dich.
What word are you saying?
Grüß dich.
Oh, like G-R-U
Yeah.
umlaut S-S?
Yes, and I was saying it is, you know.
I am trying to,
Yeah.
look at sound
Grüß
changing.
dich.
Right.
But it's not this. Groß. It's not that. See? Alright. Okay. Oh, I just closed Safari. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to the other tab. Oops. Oh well.
We won't need it anymore because
Yes. Lyrics listed as Groß.
yeah.
Groß.
Nice. I love how many people know exactly what you're talking about. We need a word for receipt still and paw. Those are our last two.
So they did think that they were saying Grüß, but of course they weren't, because it's an oo, and it's also a nice trilled R, which would only work for German opera, as far as I know. Wait, poll time for what? Poll time. Yeah, we need to figure out what the next poll is going to be. Okay, good point.
But we need 2 more words. Receipt and paw.
Did we want to do receipt already?
Maybe not, but paw definitely.
Yeah, paw definitely.
I think we should have an Ingma.
Oh, Jesse just volunteered Angma. You know we got to do it now. All right.
And then I feel like an E needs to come next.
Okay.
And then Nye. T. Nye. Nye.
All right. Got it. All right. So now let's figure out what the poll's going to be. You want to do this as our poll? With your little twitchy mouse nose. Twitching your whiskers.
This one was about how we were going to be incorporating subject, object 1, object 2, verb, because we have our pronouns, and the question is, what are we going to do now? Jonathan does have a good observation that the protoforms we usually write with IPA, and on the one for Nyet, you wrote NG instead of Angma. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I think that is a good
All right, here we go.
a good thing to do for the poll.
Let's start with okay. Let's start with just subject and object. Okay, give me the forms
Of all of the pronouns.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and gray these out. Well, actually not. Well, were we doing obviate in this one?
I don't remember. But like, I don't see where we put pronouns. Oh, there it is. So it's just that we have these consonantal sounds.
Okay, the, Angma, and W.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We'll do subject / object. Okay, so second person subject, first person object is Angma TS. Right?
Yeah. Because we're doing subject, object, first, second, right? Yeah.
And it's WTS. First person subject.
Would be TS.
W.
NG.
And then we got TSW.
Angma W.
Angma W. And yes, I'm going to fix this.
WW. And then you'll want to do that on the second person box too, with the NG. TSNG. There you go.
Boy, it's just getting all...
Oh.
Yeah. Getting spicy. Right.
So, is this saying then like you couldn't say like I sat myself or?
I'm just assuming we do something else.
Okay.
And so now we'll take this and we will do, this will be first DO. Okay?
All right, and to be reminded, what it's really going to be is subject, indirect object, direct object. Is that correct? Because we decided the direct object would be closer to the verb.
No, I think the indirect object was closer to the verb. Is that right?
So shouldn't it just be then first? Because right now you say first direct object.
Thank you. This is,
Second person.
and that is Angma, right?
Yes, second person is animal.
I don't know if necessarily all of these are gonna make sense.
And then W is third person.
Good Lord, look at that.
WWW.
And that's like the most, that's probably got to be one of the most common. He gives it to her.
Mm-hmm.
We. Yeah. Yeah. Whose idea was it to have W as one of these things? I mean, we all the way home.
I will remind you, it was you who suggested it.
Damn.
You gave the options that were voted on. Okay, so then comes the question of where, because like, yeah, it's essentially a question of how are these going to come together? Are we going to end up because it would be, I would be our inserted vowel. So like, is it going to be, for instance, TS Angma, is it going to be, end up being like thingy? Or is it going to end up being like THING and then like that's treated as a coda so it disappears but leaves a tonal trace? Is that, I mean, this is, are we really ready for this?
I mean, we're not ready for it. Essentially, what's going to happen here is we're going to take these protoforms and we are going to do something. And I'm going to come up with options saying, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Right. Okay. Quick question. Coda. Okay, coda nasals and coda glides give us low tone. Coda tsa, what happens with that? Does that count as a stop?
I think it's a high tone. Yeah.
Okay.
High tone.
Okay. That's not an easy option, Dark Horse. We're not even close to naming the language. Something that we might pull right now, before we get there, is if we want to do something with these third person to different third person forms.
Say that again.
If we want to do something in the third person to different third person forms.
To differentiate, this third person is the subject, that third person. So if we did that, second person could also be differentiated. Because I could be speaking to two people and say, well, you give it to you.
I don't agree on that one.
And also we could have a different insert vowel because we do have that non-proximal ah. And
yeah, that's probably...
So we could actually argue that it's a deictic vowel instead of the epenthetic that gets inserted.
Yeah, that actually is probably what we should do. Okay, that should give me enough latitude to come up with some unique options. Okay.
We could also have the proximal for first and second person, but third person ends up always taking a non-proximal.
Well,
the ah.
I mean, it also matters after, like in between which ones, like.
Right. And obviously, tied tails don't tell tales.
There's going to be.
Sorry.
There's going to be at least two options. That will be this. One, making it as short as possible, and one, making it as explicit as possible. And the question is there going to be an in-between?
I think we won't know until we actually write out all the forms. And I say we because I will help you with this poll. Cool. Normally I don't help. Normally I say, I'm done. You take over. You know why? Because I draw. You do polls, I draw. This is our division of work.
I like it. Light Empire, obviously the name of the everyday mouse language, is the 5th revised mouth speech semi-formal approved by the Overcommittee for Multi-Regional Speech. Yes.
I approve. Can we have a logophoric marker? I couldn't read it for a second.
Well, here's the thing though. Short is going to end, because long is going to end up being simpler. Shorter is going to end up being more complex.
And Noel, yes, we already have possession, which can be marked in a couple different ways because we have that built into the cases, but we also have it built into the deictic agreement.
That's actually an interesting suggestion, Zakari. Is that Jaman or Jarman?
That's an R.
It sure is. Okay, Jarman. Gosh, that's just getting a double vision thing there. But yeah, the suggestion is that if the indirect and direct objects are the same, you don't mark them. And that is an interesting suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Although then you could also potentially say if the subject and object are the same, like if any two arguments are the same. That would be in a row anyway, I guess.
Oh, but that would be a little confusing though, because then, for example, he sees it or he sees you could be the same as he sees himself for you.
You would count that as an indirect object that would be marked on the verb, and not as a just completely different case off the verb.
Well, but
as an adjunct. To me, I have a much stricter definition of indirect object. I need it to be an argument and not an adjunct.
it's a dangerous road to go down. Very dangerous.
Oh, obviation comes from possession. Ah, that's what we're going back to. That's a lot more. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, we have a lot to chew over this week.
Yeah. I'll come up. We'll come up with something good.
Yeah. But you'll be voting on forms.
Yeah.
Of this nature.
That's true.
And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Danger has never stopped David before. Dun dun dun.
All right.
Dun dun.
I will remind you that you get.
I get to stop. I get to end. Okay, so I'm about to end the stream. I hope you all have a good week and stay grammar, and patrons be ready to vote on this very, it's going to be interesting chart. Well, be ready to vote in like 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
In the meantime, give us time to figure this one out. In the meantime, have a good weekend and a great week.